I'm extremely overwhelmed to get this opportunity to address our next speaker. With this, Mr. Naga Shimareddy Apparao Polireddy, Arizona State University, USA. Sir, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. Yeah.
Sir belongs to a Department of Computer Science Engineering, USA. He has an experience of 18 years as a senior machine learning professor, Java developer in NLP, machine learning, deep learning, confidential Western Explorer, Java, Node.js 16, ECM A6, and React.js, as well as Python middleware-based enterprise application development, along with the system integration testing. His research area includes financial service, healthcare, telecom, airline domain. He has completed various projects related to the machine learning, natural language processing, digital acquisition, etc. He has published various research papers in reputed journals and conferences. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your introduction. So I'm going to share my screen. Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Naga Simhadri Apparao Polireddy. I have over 18 years of experience, both in academic side as well as IT side, IT development side. Currently, I'm working as a solution architect for one of the leading MNC in USA, that is Phoenix, Arizona. So that is American Express. And so today I'm going to discuss a clear view on how CDN works, what is CDN, how internally it works, how it is related to our field, that is the web development technologies. So I'll discuss briefly on that. Initially, when I touch why I'm going to before going to explain this, why I took this topic is at present. All applications, every business, every MNC is maintaining their own web applications. So they should be relevant to, they should be reachable to all users across the world. So starting with that, what is this content distribution or delivery network, CDN? So basically CDN is a network of servers. Network of servers which are located in various locations around the world. So starting with content delivery network, just assume that we have a network of servers in the network. Okay, each server has its own capability, and when user requests a content from website, for example, the CDN will redirect that request to closest servers in the network. This means that the content will be delivered faster, more reliable, no matter where the user is located. So these are the different steps in CDN. If you see some example, definitely we'll come to know where exactly we are using this CDN. So I took an example of one screenshot of web page, that is American Express Web, for example. Before going to proceed on this CDN, first we should know what is this content here, why it is important for any website. I am sure that from our computer department, many people work on developing the websites. So my intention is to concentrate more on CDN so that your web pages or your websites will be more likely accessible to every user on this earth, actually. So in terms of that, first I'll touch base with what is content here. Content includes, for example, images, scripts, style sheets, labels on the web. For example, if you see, this is a kind of applying a credit card on the page of the website. So this is one kind of image, that is a credit card image. And we have different labels here. My account, cards, banking, different labels are there. They are called labels here, I'm mentioning. And what is script here? as we know, when we are doing something, right, when we are developing some web page, for example, when I click on this one, this content is showing here, and user want to click on refer a friend, for example, other tab. Definitely, it should show another content here. So that is basically internally, right? When you are coding something on the web page, for this web page, definitely you should have some JavaScript that is called a script here, and some style sheets to maintain this left bar, right bar alignment. We are using some CSS in terms of HTML development. So whenever a user is going to access some web page, the website should be loaded. Before going to show this web page to the user, all these scripts internally in my coding, all these scripts should be loaded. So definitely to load these scripts or to load this content, it will take some time. So here the funda is whoever is doing coding, if these scripts, if this content loads fastly, definitely we can say that is the best website to develop. That is the intent behind this CDN. So let us see now how I can maintain all these content, images, scripts, style sheets. Where should I maintain behind my website development, so that my website is more responsive to all users across the world. So let me proceed with that. So first of all, we can see why this CDN is important. Imagine we are trying to access a website that is hosted on a server the other side of the world. For example, I am here in America. You are trying to access a website, for example, that is Amazon.com, okay, which was hosted in New York City, and trying to access that from Chennai. So what will happen? For example, if it is directly without using any CDN technology, if you are trying to access that, what will happen? What are the disadvantages without CDN? So what will happen? Your request has to travel across the internet along the regions, right? From Asia, India to America, for example. Along the regions, request will come, and your website has to respond back. So to and fro request and response. But with the CDN, the content you are requesting is stored in a server closer to you, so that you can access more quickly. So how can I depict that one? So initially we can see the web world without CDN and with CDN. So for example, this is my content. I shown you, right? Examples of the content is, for example, images or CSS or HTML content, or even videos also. Okay, they were hosted on some other side of the country, for example, some other side of the world, and through internet, multiple users, they are trying to access that. Okay, so in this scenario, I'm not using any CDN technology here. Okay, I'm trying to access. So what will happen here? If user is trying to access from Chennai, my server was located in New York City. So the request has to come here, up to here, and respond has to come back. So because of this distance issue, it will take a lot of time, as well as in between that, somebody may break this network in terms of security. So these are all the problems with without CDN. So for example, if I assume I am using a CDN, what will happen then? Again, the same content which was hosted in New York server through the internet, but before me, near to Chennai, in the Asia, somewhere, I have a CDN network. I told that, as we see in description, CDN in the sense, it has a group of servers. So because of this group of servers, which are located near to my area, near to my city, I can quickly access that content. That is the CDN technology behind the scenes. So let us see now. So how CDN works? Globally distributed network of web servers. They are situated near to my region, for example, that is Asia. If you are staying in India, and faster content delivery because it is staying near to me. So that's why I can access very fastly. The content is replicated and stored through CDN. Let us see internally now how CDN, for example, just see this is the network. But when I open this network and see how CDN works, how the technology works here. Okay, so to explain this CDN, how it works internally, I just took the example of Amazon software, CDN software, that is CloudFront. So Before going to explain on intricacies or internals of CDN, I just want to emphasize on 2 points here. One is replication of the content. Another one is caching of the content. Okay, without these two important features, we can say there is no CDN exists actually. So it means that internally our CDN technology uses replication of the content, replication of the data, whatever, which can be used by our website, and caching of the content. So let us see now. For example, if a user is trying to access Amazon.com or AmericanExpress.com, okay, that website from Chennai, for example, okay, and my content and my server, Amazon hosts in other side of the region, that is North America, so somewhere in New York, somewhere in California. So when user is trying to access that content, what will happen internally when I am using CDN? So if I see internals of the CDN has a technology called edge location, because CDN has a group of servers, okay, and it will maintain some technology called edge location. What is edge location here? So now I want to talk about caching of the content. So what will happen here is when I'm trying to open www.amazon.com, so Amazon website is going to open. Okay. For example, we know, right? It's an e-commerce website. It has more images, actually, more content, rate of each item, and I can buy that item through that website. So what will happen here is initially when a website is going to open, all content related to those images or CSS files or JavaScript files, those will be getting from source server and put it in some location called edge location. This is called a caching. So what will happen next time if another, for example, tomorrow, if I'm going to open again the same website, what will happen is instead of going from Chennai to New York, wherever the CDN servers are located, for example, in the Asia itself, so the content will be fetched from near to my place. So what will happen here? The quick response of the website. In terms of that, I can say the optimization or performance of the network will be increased. And that is one criteria. Another one is that CDN technology always maintain replication of servers. Replication of the servers in the sense, for example, in my network, I have some set of servers in Asia, some set of servers in Europe, some set of servers in South America, for example, or other part of region. So in that way, my data will be distributed or replicated in terms of servers, and data will be cached always. That is the internal and intricacies of this technology. Okay, this is the internal process of CDN. It will most likely depending on replication of the content and caching of the content. That's how internally CDN works. So the same thing, network of interconnected servers to minimize the distance between the user and the nearest server. So in that way, it is minimizing the distance between user and actual content, which was hosted on the server. So the minimize the distance and server caching, just now we saw, right? And the advantage with the caching is in the second request onwards, instead of going to your source server in the distance, it will take it from the nearby region that is called edge location server, which will maintain the replication of the data. So when a user requests a web page, the dynamic request routing ensures that it is closest to that CDN server. If the CDN server has a recent copy of the request, content is cached. If it is not there, for example, in the second request, more images were added, actually, more item was added to my e-commerce server. So in that case, CDN network has an intelligence that it will try to fetch the latest content from my source server again. First request only. Next request onwards, again, anyway, it will maintain that caching and it will give all those advantages. So that is one thing. And internally, what will happen by implementing these two features, replication and caching with the CDN? So what are the advantages to my website, for example? Faster load times, reduce the bandwidth, improved availability and redundancy, and enhanced web security. So as I said, instead of serving user request from America region to Asia region. For example, the CDN itself hosted in located to the region which is near to me, that is Asia. So even nobody can break the network in terms of security. I can say the in terms of security in the sense, for example, a bot attack. A bots will be attack my network, or otherwise the DDoS, that is denial of the service kind of attacks will be prevented if all servers are located near to me. So for faster load times, reduce the bandwidth. So in terms of that, I can say my network or my website has more scalable and low cost content delivery and fast and secured content delivery because it's near to me. So definitely, it will provide more security, as well as one more point, that is the scalability. For example, because I am replicating the data between different regions. For example, because of some issue, if this server goes down, definitely the CDN has an intelligence. Whenever request comes, the request will be redirected to other region and it will fetch the data instead of showing a blank page or service is not available page. So that is basically the high scalability of my website. That feature, it will get it automatically by using this CDN technology. Let's take a real-time example. So I already discussed like Amazon or Flipkart, which was located in other side of the world and trying to access. So without a CDN, every time consumer from Asia Europe would have the content from your New York server, which can take a lot of time. But with the CDN, we can avoid those issues. So what will happen then? For example, as a good solution architect, when you are going to your team is going to develop a website, okay, definitely we should suggest this technology, that is CDN technology. So obviously, right, every web page now in the web world, every web is maintaining same content actually. To show something on the web page, your web page should be good in terms of design. If I want to maintain good design, good alignment, definitely I have to use all these things, right? Like images, CSS files, and JavaScript files, script files. For example, videos, sometimes videos also, or multimedia content I have to use to fetch and show it to the user for good user experience actually. So when a user requests a web page that's using CDN, it has its own cache mechanism, so that in that way my web page will be optimized, I can say, by using the CDN technology. So if you have a solution architect, definitely he has to suggest this technology. So internally, what will happen whenever a website optimization is good in terms of performance of your website, people can say that your website is so performative. So it means that it will quickly open in terms of better user experience, having better position in search engines. So nowadays, any business, right? For example, if I say American Express cards, okay, they have their own competitors, like Discover is there, Bank of America. Like in India, we have Citibank and HDFC Bank. They have their own competition. For example, HDFC is maintaining their website poorly without using the CDN. If I hit the website, if it takes 1 minute time to load, instead of that, for example, Citibank website, if I access, it will give quick response. Definitely, users will tend to that website. If both of them are giving same rate of interest, for example, to apply a bank loan or apply a card. So that is why CDN plays here key role to maintain good business. So in terms of high conversion rates, for example, it will definitely attract more customers. So that is the advantage. As well as they are the some of the items about e-commerce websites and other commercial websites, as well as daily, right? We are accessing, for example, Netflix or trying to see videos, or YouTube. Again, here also competition actually in between Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube. We have a lot of competition in between different commercial sites. So definitely they should use CDN, and they are using right now. This is the diagram, just tell you that. And so I just want to give little bit more stats, how the current world is using CDN and how their websites are gaining profits, for example. So if you see in 2022 study by Porten found that even small increase of page load speed have dramatic impact on conversion rates. Some of the stats are like 1 second load time translates to 40% conversion rate. So it means I already told, right? In between, for example, competition between HDFC Bank and Citibank. If the website is good, if both the banks are offering same offers actually, any of their products, credit cards or debit cards or loans, okay, if their website is so good, so definitely their conversion rate will be good. User conversion rate means those companies will attract more users, and in that way they will get more benefits, more profits in terms of that. A page load, these are some of the statistics, real-time statistics actually. A page load that loads 1 second has 3 times higher conversion rate. And at the same time, optimal loading time to maximize sales is less than 2 seconds. Every second count here in terms of any e-commerce website, for example. And another stat is that according to the e-marketer estimates, retail e-commerce sales reach 5.2 trillion in 2021, a 17.1% increase over previous year. So any company, right, any commercial websites, they put a lot of pressure on their developers to maintain their website should be more performative. In that way, optimization of that website. See, in USA, right, recent stats, I just took recent stats, how United States people will, the customers' behavior, for example. Consider the patience of the customers, actually. The majority of Americans said to wait in line in real Shopee, for example, not longer than 15 minutes. For example, if I'm going to buy some item, some queue is there before going to take item, for example, buy item. Okay, these people, they can bear maximum of 15 minutes to stand in the queue. If it is a real shop, for example, if it is, if it is website, see how the difference will be. However, on the website, 1 out of 4 customers will abandon a web page. That's what I told. For example, one web company web page is taking more time to load that website to navigate to apply some credit card or so. If it is taking more time, in between that, people will log out actually. They will close the browser and they will log out and try to go to another company. That is the big effect on commercial companies. So this is directly proportionate, like website speed and number of sales. As we discussed some of the items, some stats. For example, here Walmart, right? Like in our Reliance stores in India, we have here Walmart. So increase its total sales number by 2% for every second increased in web page loading speed. See, 2% is big profit for them in terms of $1 million of profit for them if their web pages are more reliable and more speed actually. For every 400 million seconds of increased web page loading speed, Yahoo increased its traffic to 9%. That's a big gain. In the same way, some other applications also. Some of website speed is directly proportional to number of customer conversions. So here, companies which are widely using CDN, who are all right now we know these companies actually. So they are Netflix or Amazon. Amazon Prime is also using, as well as like Amazon e-commerce site also extensively using. As I said, right, their own software they are using. And Spotify, for example, the music delivery website, they are also using CDN widely. And these are some of the companies. In the next slide also we can see some companies they are using widely using CDN technology. They're all giant companies, right? If you see, Netflix is a giant in their own field. Amazon e-commerce is the number 1 e-commerce website in the world, not in the country actually. And for example, if you see CDN service providers, Amazon CloudFront, just now we discussed it, right? Amazon CloudFront. And in American Express, where I am working on their website, we are using their Akamai software to maintain this to maintain this static content like images, scripts, CSS files, everything. So the companies widely using CDNs, as I said, Amazon is widely using Akamai and CenturyLink. This is local to, I think, Singapore broadband company. And some other companies, Airbnb is using, and Tata also using, or Tata, and other companies actually. They are big brands, they are widely using this technology. Without this technology, definitely I can say that we cannot manage content which we are going to showcase on our websites. That's what its importance will be. CDN technology importance will be. And so finally, final touch base is that 10 some of the transformative benefits CDN is providing to our organizations in the sense behind the scenes, that is websites. So it will increase reliability and response times. That is very, very important for any commercial website, as well as global reach. As I said, CDN always maintains local servers, local networking, local caching, so that it will be, though it is the global company, it will be reachable to all regions. For example, if you are sitting in the Europe, you have your own CDN network. If you are in Asia, your own CDN network. And in terms of that, users will save the broadband. So that is the financial savings and availability. This is the important point, 99% availability rate because of the CDN and quick loading of content on the websites. And decrease the server loads, strengthen the backbone, as well as, this is very important one, this is called denial of service. For example, this is the security issue actually for our websites. So in some cases, hackers, what they will do, they will try to down the big businesses. So it means that what is denial of service here? So from the same IP, the particular users, they are trying to push more number of thousands of requests, so that particular website cannot handle those requests, and definitely it will go down. But in our case, we are using CDN. So what will happen, though you are getting many requests in terms of this DDoS effect, DDoS attack. So what will happen, the traffic will be redirected to other regions or other servers, because it is a distributed nature, CDN. So in that way, we can save our network. Internally, we can save our websites also. So that is another advantage. And reliability, we already discussed with multi-CDN. Our websites are always available in terms of reliability. So in conclusion, I can say CDNs are essential component of modern web infrastructure. Definitely all commercial, all big companies, all websites, internally they are using this content distribution networks technology by distributing the content across multiple servers and caching the content at the edge of the network. CDNs are able to deliver the content more quickly, reliably, so that all business websites will be more responsive, so that they will get more profits by using this networking technology. That is the conclusion on this CDN technology. Thank you for giving the time to me to listen about this technology. Thank you. So please let me know if you have any questions.
You didn't see. It was very good, right? Comparatively.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am.
Myself, Sujata, research scholar. Myself doing research in networking domain only, sir. Actually, it's very new to me, this term. I'm doing software-defined networking. Actually, it's content delivery networks. It's a very new topic, and it's like an eye-opener. Actually, I just want to know what are the research scope, what kind of researches can we do in that CDN, sir? What about the security? You said the DDoS is not possible in this case of CDN. So may you know how is it possible?
Yeah, in terms of that, quickly, I will share my screen again. So if you see here, so I think, sorry. So if you see right here, so why did Netflix use Nginx and FreeBSD to build their own CDN? So I skip one point, it seems, that is Nginx. Okay, so relevant to your question, when I go back and when I'm trying to share the screen, so what will happen here is in between these networks, right? For example, user is going to request for a website through net. It will go and it will go and fetch that content. In between this, we have some web server software called Nginx. Okay, here also you have Nginx. So what will happen? The nature of Nginx we are widely using in even, for example, if you see Verizon, right, for their network and to maintain security, they are using this Nginx software very widely. So what it will do internally, that web server has internal mechanism. Whenever bot attack occurs or DDoS attack occurs, it means that from the single user, they are trying to pump many requests from the single IP. So that Nginx software has capability. It has its own filters. Actually, it has its own filters. It will identify that pattern. For example, instead of coming 1 or 2 requests, why I am getting 1,000 requests in a minute, or 2,000 requests in a minute? In that way, they have it has its own intelligence to identify that security issue, and immediately it will block that IP. In that way, it will maintain security here, ma'am. That's the Nginx software actually.
Good morning, Professor. I am Annapurni, Department of HOD of Department of Networking and Communication. Session was really interesting. If you have been here, you could see our students' interest also. So that is definitely we would like to have you one day in offline physically. And then this content delivery networking was really interesting, and it's a much needed one. So I think if any courses we could do with that, if possible, we could go with this, and then I will take it further, right? So I'll check with you what we could do so that like an elective or something, or some course as such. So that will be of interest to our students.
Sure, ma'am. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Professor. We will definitely will keep in touch, and I'll get back to you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining. I think it's late night for you people. So thank you so much for. Thank you.
Pranit, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And the next speaker is about Dr. Pranit Kangla from Department of Information Technology, University of Cumberland, Williamsburg, USA. His research interest includes network security, cryptography, network communication, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. He is working as a system administrator in DD Engineer, Detroit, USA. In the past experience, he worked as Microsoft engineer and Exchange administrator. Currently, he has published several papers in various reputed journals like Elsewhere, Springer, etc. He has completed various standard certification, includes Microsoft Certified Enterprise Administrator and Microsoft Certified Azure Fundamentals, AZ 900. He has vast experience in the field of information security, along with Harrisburg University of Science and Technology. And so, over to you, sir. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction, sir. Hi, I'm Pranit Kanagala. Good day, everyone. Today, I'm here to talk about the importance of the critical success of the business or organization with the cloud security. Cloud computing has become a part of our modern business landscape, allowing the companies to store, process data, application over the internet from anywhere in the world. However, with the convenience and flexibility of the cloud, computing comes here in the significance of security, data application that became stored and processed in the cloud. For example, like hackers and cyber crimes could be vulnerable in the cloud systems. And if they succeeded to breach the security measures, they can cause the immense damages for the business. They can steal the sensitive data, disturb the services, components, and integrity entire the organization. In addition of that, data breaches can lead a legal, financial, and consequences as well in the damage of the hard to cover the form. Therefore, the critical business to implement the robotic cloud measures that protect their data and applications from the cyber threats. Here are some best practices in the organization we can follow, or like encryption, access control, regular updates and patches, regular security assessments.
Excuse me, sir. Your screen is not visible, sir. Whether do you have any screen, sir?
Oh, sorry for that. Let me check.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Now it's clear, sir.
Yeah. Here. Can you see it, sir, now?
Yeah, we can see it, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So, as I said, like a cloud security, it's a discipline for the cyber security, including the securing the computing systems. So, cloud providers has hosting the services in the servers through the always on the internet connections. Since the business relies on the customer trust,
sorry for the interruption.
Yep.
Sir, slideshow.
Sorry.
Slideshow, sir. It's not in slideshow, sir.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no issues, sir. Sorry for the interruption, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir. It's fine, sir.
Yeah, sorry for that. Yeah, let me start again. So, as I said, like a cloud security is a discipline of the cyber security, indicates the security in the cloud computing system. And also, cloud provides the host in the servers to the always in the internet connection. So, the organization should follow the measures like encryption, access control, and limit. Encryption is nothing but like encrypting the strong or like any data before storing it to the cloud. It need to be encrypted with a password or anything like access control. So limiting the access to the main, for example, like a main like a OneDrive or this kind of a cloud data to reduce with the two-factor multi-authentication or like reducing the service accounts to get access to that. And a regular updated and patches to the systems. It could be reduces the vulnerability between the user and the systems, and the regular security assessments that need to be followed by the users as a regular practice of training. In conclusion, and also information security. So information security refers to the protection of the information with the unauthorized user access, disclosing the modification or destruction. In today internet connected world, it's a vast amount of data was generated and stored and shared every day. Ensuring the security for the data, critical protection server is information, and maintaining the privacy and preventing from the cyber attacks. So preventing some of the measures is using the strong password, encryption as a data, as I discussed previously, and regular patches and awareness of the training again, for all the users, like phishing scams or the social engineering attacks or anything regarding that. So here is the cloud component, security components that which we need to use, like IAM, identity access management. It need to be controlled or authenticated by the users with the two-factor authentication. Data security, governance. Governance indicates the policies and the threat prevention and detection and mitigation between the cloud data and the organization with the policies that which we customize the conditional access and configurational access on the cloud. Data retention and the business continuity plan. So the continuity plan is always we need to have a continuity plan as a backup plan B for the any kind of vulnerable attacks or anything. Legal compliances is like as a legal departments of an organization, we need to restrict the legal components of the user accesses and also like organization, right? Some particular legal rules. So here is the addressing of the cloud security, why it is important. So as we discussed previously, identity and access management is the one of the thing, and proper configuration settings on the cloud kind of, and cloud security gateways, firewalls, data encryption, and threat intelligence. So what is the cloud responsibilities? Cloud responsibilities are like physical networks. Excuse me. Cloud networking is like a cost saving for the entire organization, scalability for the environment. Organization can quickly provide the additional resource as a needed to handle skip traffic, workload, etc. kind of thing. Accessibility. Cloud security, cloud environment should be accessible to the data and application from anywhere with the internet connection, enabling the remote work and collaborating to the accessibility of user. Reliability. The cost services provide for the high level reliability and availability for the services. This reduces the risk and down for the losses, ensure the application as always. And security, data privacy, and also like a vendor lock-in. Vendor lock-in is like the new technology like B2C communication between the cloud and the vendor parties. Integration, like cloud integration is also like existing in the IT system workflow. Organization must carefully plan their cloud migration strategies to ensure the transition is smooth to the data and the application and not destroyed. So we have like a different type of cloud environments. So one is public cloud environment, third party cloud, in private cloud is like a private and in-party house or like it's a similar kind of thing which companies will always prefer a third party or like in-house called cloud builds. Multi-cloud environment and also like hybrid cloud environments. So here the public cloud environment is nothing but like the cloud environment that which the providers can be provided like AWS, Microsoft, or like a Google part, that which we scale like meetings and demands. The public cloud is a choice of the organization which quickly below the application website or services that which we brought from the third parties. Private or in-house or like a third parties or like that customizes the in organization cloud environments that we build in the organization. Multi-cloud environments is nothing but like we choose like a multi-clouds, like for example, like in an organization we can we use like a different client in a particular organization. We can use like a multiple cloud environments, like we can go with a public cloud, private, in third party, and in-house in a single organization. With depends upon the projects and everything. Hybrid clouds is like a similar to that, like we can choose like a private cloud environment and also like a public cloud environments in the hybrid cloud environments. Here in the cloud security, enabling the data recovery in the case of data loss, protection, the storage. These are like these are the cloud security risks. Cloud components has revolutionized the way of organizations to store, process data, applications. We all know that. So some of the security risks associated with the cloud computing is like a data breaches, insecure APIs, insufficient due diligence, data loss, and regular compliances will be some of the security risks here in the cloud computing. So yeah, what makes cloud security different? So here to mitigate the security risk, the organization must be implemented the robotic measures such as like access control, as we discussed previously, the multi-factor authentication kind of thing, data encryption, regular auditing of the data that which who accessing this the without vulnerabilities to make sure like the data is safe, and the data recovery. Organization must have this data recovery plan in secure the data can recover in the events of the natural disasters or like system failures kind of thing. So external threats is almost like a malicious attacks, phishing, and US attacks. Risk of cloud infrastructure is like a legal IT frame that which storage service disruptions that which we made like a legal. We already discussed on the legal thing. Here are some principles like never leave a data bulk storage bulk open. A bucket could be hackers or like see the content open and storage bucket you are. If the cloud vendor has a security controls that they can switch on, use them. Like not selecting the right security option can put at you any risk. These are the principles that which we need to follow like the components. So these are like some cloud security solution landscape that you can see in this slide. So as we discussed previously, cloud secure, IAM reporting and SOC and cloud monitoring, everything we need to, it's a cloud structure model. Actually, this is. So here is the like data leakage kind of. This is the statistical research of the cloud computing, data leakage, the data privacy, and if you see the below the accidental exposure of credentials and the incident reports, and the legal regulatory components and data system. So yeah, here is the cloud platform, security platform that which we discussed previously. Private cloud in these are like AWS, Microsoft, Google Soft, and private cloud behaviors, and the component security platforms like a configuration audit access, work container security, advanced threat detection, vulnerability monitoring. And these are like monitoring tools that which we do in the defenders of the cloud security. Yep. To be concluding this topic, cloud computing offers many benefits to the organization, but it also prevents the security risks that must be taken seriously. Organization must implement the robotic security measures to migrate these risks and ensure the safety and security of the data in the cloud. Thank you for the opportunity.
ஸ்டாப் பண்ணுறதுக்கு என்னோட ஸ்ட்ரீம் முடிகிற மட்டும் இந்த சொல்கிறீங்க. ஓகே சார், இப்போ பேசுனது லாஸ்ட்டா இல்லை இதுக்கப்புறம் ஆள் யாரும் கிடையாதுல்ல நீங்கள் பார்த்துக்கிறதுல? இல்லை இது முடிஞ்சோடனே அவ்வளோதானு கேட்குறேன். சரிங்க சார், நான் ஸ்டாப் பண்ணணும் வேறு ஒன்றும் இல்லை.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor, for joining us. Session was really interesting, and I'm HOD of Networking and Communications. We have we have got 5 specializations in our department. That is, we give degree to students as BTech in Computer Science and Engineering in specialization in cloud computing, cyber security, IT, IoT, and computer networking. So really, it will be very useful for our cloud computing students. And we have an MTech degree also in cloud computing. So it will be most beneficial, and hope we could have some subjects or course or some certificate system which you could go with this. So I will keep in touch with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks for giving your valuable time. Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure is mine. Thank you.
Thank you. Robot query. Thank you. End them.
I'd like to thank our HOD ma'am.